This is one of 5 bonus episodes of the CRO Café podcast that are recorded live at the 2021 edition of the conference formerly known as Conversion Hotel, which was held on the lovely island of Texel in the Netherlands. Theme of this session is CRO and SEO are dead, and my guests in the cafe are Simon Vreeman, freelance growth marketing consultant, and Gerk Mulder, SEO and marketing specialist at Briljante Geesten. The CRO Café podcast is made possible by Klaviyo, VWO and the Online Influence Institute, and of course a big thanks to Tom Wesseling and the rest of the organization for having us at their conference.
You do both SEO and CRO work, and so why are we here with the title SEO and CRO are both dead?
Because I think in the end you should spend everything in Google Ads. No, I think there might be there's a good balance between both of them, but there's also I think a big opportunity to do even more. It's just not just doing CRO or just doing SEO. It's just you can do so much more even in terms of optimizing business propositions, which is not so much as doing A/B test on colors or etc.
So who's doing A/B test on colors?
Well, it's probably, I hope nobody is doing it anymore, or only if you can only, or should do it probably if you have too much traffic. But yeah, there's this.
Well, or I had I was at a client. They had these ghost buttons, which basically disappear. So there was the nice blue background, nice blue, same hue blue button color, and then a very thin white line around it. No one's seeing the button.
That is indeed, like, even doing that A/B test is a good one, just to get buy-in from your designers to stop doing it, stop using ghost buttons.
Yeah. Gerk, SEO is dead.
Google is following the end user. So Google tries to imitate the behavior of the user to get a notion of how a page feels, how it should react, and how it should respond. And so Google is looking at the behavior of the end user with all its own metrics. So everything we try to push as SEOs to get all the content there and everything above the fold, and Google says no, we're focusing on really different stuff now, not only content or links or anything. So it's really the change of the behavior of Google, trying to index and trying to copy the user to know what the user wants to show them the good results. That gives us a CRO benefit against SEO. So that Google is pushing the search engine result page, only advertising, only their own content. Only, I don't know if you heard about the MUM update from Google, but it's about that Google picks from 75 different languages content from all the websites, puts it together without any source, and presents it as its own content. So I think SEO is really
how nice of them.
Yeah.
They also clearly go to the point where their goal is to always serve the perfect answer in position 1, and they're even doing it now in a way that the user doesn't even need to click anymore, right?
Yeah. That's the zero-click results. It's a big issue within SEO. So yeah, it's if you're gonna present content of different websites and you're not gonna even put a source, but you're gonna put all kinds of ads and shopping and images and local images and local maps, and then beneath there are 5 small organic links, then as Google, from Google's perspective, you really do not want any clicks on organic links.
Yeah. And this session, we have an audience and we have a microphone in the audience, so we would love to have some interaction here. And I know there are already people in the audience with questions, so please come to the front if you have one, Annegien.
Yeah, Annegien.
Not Annegien. No, so who has any questions for these guys on SEO and or CRO and priorities or something like that? I know there is.
Still early.
So
where's the beer?
Where's the beer? Yeah. Now we have. There's one question.
Hello, guys.
Tell us who you are, what you do, and what your question is.
Yeah. So hi. I'm Peter. I'm working for Hallmark Cards. And we do have an e-commerce web shop where you can order print-on-demand cards. And we do also have list page, for example, where SEO text is important, but it's also positioned above the fold, which is not the best approach from a CRO perspective. So what kind of or what way of working do you propose for this kind of situations?
Affiliate marketing. Now, is the content any good above the fold?
In my opinion, it's not.
Okay, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, from SEO perspective, you can put your content above or beyond or beneath product listing or images. Or I think if you're going to put it above the fold for Google's perspective, make sure that the end user really likes the content and it helps them on their way. And then, then it's also content good for Google, for SEO. So I don't think there should be, but you have to test. I don't know. It depends. What happens when you make a set of pages and you say, okay, we're going to use a different template for SEO perspective, and we're going to put all the content really low, and we're going to see how it affects our rankings and our organic visits, etc. So, but I believe if you make the content, and you do not have to put, I guess, 6,000 words of content above your product listing above. But if you have only 3 rules and you have a read more that scrolls down and there's even more content, you need content. Sorry. But if the content is really good and you have an opportunity to help your customer and reap the benefits for SEO perspective. So.
And you mentioned a read more link, for example. Do you think everything behind a read more is considered important to Google ranking?
Yeah, Google follows on-page anchor links a bit. So if you make a notion that there's more to be read beneath, then this trigger will help a bit. There's also always this discussion about tabs and about expandable content and everything. And I really don't know. There have been a lot of testing. And some say, well, it works, tabbed content works just fine, and others say, but it's also the technique. If it's just a jQuery with no HTML, then it's a lot harder to be read than it's just expandable in HTML5. So there's also the difference.
All right.
Anything to add, Simon?
Well, I think it also has to do maybe even with, can you make some sort of a business case versus if we get more traffic in by having this SEO text, does it result in more revenue, or should we optimize for CRO, and does that result in more revenue? So maybe you can even make that calculation, like what gives us more revenue in the end, or whatever your metric is. So if you remove the SEO text, the conversion rate might go up, but is it significantly more than having the SEO text? So that might be an experiment to even run and to figure that out. So, yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Got your answer, Peter.
but still, it's a fascinating story, because we were just talking about it. Also, I gave the example of like going to any listing page on Zalando and about shoes, and the text you have there on the site, you can't read it. It's just about Zalando sells shoes. And,
who does not want to know the history about shoe?
Yeah.
So it's really impressive to make a piece of content of 6,000-7,000 words about the history of shoes. So you gotta give him some credit for that.
Yeah, but it's fascinating, or it's fascinating. It might even be shitty. That is just still the reality for these types of verticals, where you need these types of copy to get traffic in.
Yeah, I think that's where the SEO A/B test, because there are lots of examples of different verticals. That's what we talked about. If you sell hammers and screwdrivers and anything, there's not really need for lots of content to rank high. There are cases that even websites with the least content outrank the high content tool websites, because if you're going to buy a hammer, then you need to know specifications, and that's it, because a hammer has one purpose. So why write really much content about that? So, yeah.
All the things you can do with a hammer.
Yeah. Open beer.
Thank you, Peter. Any more questions? Anyone that wants to come up already? No. And we have one. Please let us know who you are.
Hi guys. Hi, Colin Kroll from Chameleon, and just have a question for you guys. I'm curious, like everyone now, or most companies don't question having an SEO budget. You talk to the CEO down to like the lowest person at the company and they say, yeah, of course you got to do SEO. But when you talk to that same spectrum of management, none of them, or very few of them, will say, oh yeah, we spend X, Y, and Z on CRO. What do you think CRO has to do to become as established as SEO?
I don't even think that SEO is there, because if how often do you see that the budget for SEO is like a fraction of what paid media gets?
Well, I tell you, all CRO people, correct me if I'm wrong, but CRO people are very jealous of SEO people.
Yeah. But it's also that SEO people are often jealous of the people who spend it in Google Ads. So there's a lot of mismatch going on, and a lot needs to be solved. And I don't have one solution for it, but yeah.
And that's the difficult thing. It's such a shame that there has been pumped so much money into SEO, into ads, into Bing, into social, and then there's no attention to the end user and how it's going to react on the pages you've built. So there's really, and that's why we started this company as a collab, because there's no reason for me to do SEO if I do not know my end user. And that's not only the intention, but that's all the spectrum, everything it wants. And so I need the research Annegien does to make up structures, to build structures, and to guide Google to the content that is most important from a business perspective, but mostly for the end user. So I can rank, I think, a lot of websites on the first page, but that's just for those websites, mostly waste of server load, because I just heard Krista said bounce percentage is like a shitty metric, but it's really important, because if we produce content and 80 to 90% just leaves, not coming back, there's no attending revenue, then it's just wasting up my service.
But I think we don't need the reason. We all know the reasons. But the problem is, what Colin is asking about. Okay, but how? we know that it's.
Oh yeah, that's up to your SEO and
how do we convince management? Correct me if I'm wrong. But
Yeah. So I mean, there you are. Like, hey, we just spent, for example, $100 on SEO, but what is CRO? Why do we need to do it? You show them this funnel conversion, and they still struggle to comprehend why they need to take care of the CX experience.
Yeah.
So just a question for everyone in the room: who thinks they, relatively speaking to SEO, SEA budget, who thinks CRO in your company receives a way too low budget? That's less than I expected.
Yeah, I know. Wow. All right.
But still, so people that didn't raise their hands, what did you do?
I'm in charge of the budget.
That helps. So
B2B company, so it's better for us to work with the CRO department than that we have ads for SEO, because our clients already know us. That's our solution. Yeah.
Just make the business case speak for itself. Yeah. Okay.
And I think there's a question: if you're, is it just in-house, or are you using or working with an agency? Because in our history we had lots of account managers, and they all said, "Well, you have to do ads, because ads gives us football tables, and ads gives us a Google bike, and we can go to San Francisco. We can do anything, Silicon Valley." Because we have a way ad spend, and then we also have SEO specialists. Please do SEO, because you can rank number 1 CRO. It's optional. So, and that's the problem, I think, with a lot of agencies, that has to be a shift in doing what you do just for profit, and that's thin line. Do you work for profit or do you work for passion? Do you want to help your client? So I think there's a huge role in agencies to teach their clients how much money is there more to be made with CRO. Because if you have 10,000 visitors and you have 1% conversion rate or 3, that's really going to give you more money than going from 3 to 1 on a high volume keyword. So
I have we have only 4 minutes left. I have a question for you, but unless there's an audience question, anyone wanna? No. So where do you guys think this is going in the future? Do you see this improving, this balance, or how do you see this evolving in the next couple of years?
Well,
do you see this evolving in the next couple of years?
We need to evolve it. If the perspective from maybe a CMO is like, oh, CRO is just doing A/B test on buttons, even though throughout your testing career, sort of, you realize, oh, we need to actually optimize for the business models, or the product or the service is just not good. You can do that much better. Then you reach some often like this maximum what you can reach. So yeah, you might need to do just rebranding of what CRO is in your company or as an agency, etc. But you need to rebrand it to get higher up and to really start optimizing the business and not necessarily the website. I think that is a big change that needs to happen as well to become more mature.
I just got we got 10 minutes extra, so
that's cool.
You can take your time answering.
Thank you. Well, I agree, but then there's also all the evolution of all the tech. And I don't know, you all know Jono Alderson, he has been here, he has some great speeches about that we're all just screwed as marketers. Because if we depend on, and that's what Rand Fishkin always said, we're getting a bad deal out of filling Google's index. So we're giving all this information and we're not getting enough back. Jono says, well, as marketers, not gonna be in the process of the marketing anymore because AI, artificial intelligence, and deep learning systems, they are providing the user. So I really think that SEO in the long term, it get more specific. Google Ads get more specific, but CRO is the only way to really grow your business, because we are not really gonna be capable to provide the as organic as SEO to provide the visitors and the numbers of sessions that we always did, because Google is they're changing the game with new title updates. So we're gonna make a meta title that you see in the Google search result, and then Google says, no, gonna change it, and we have less and less impact on that change that they are making. There are 5 organic links in the SERP where there used to be 10, then 9, then 7, and now there are cases that are just 5. So it gets harder and harder. So I think I'm really I'm learning from Annegien, so I can become a CRO specialist when SEO is really killed.
He is making up with all the things that he said before the session. Yeah.
Luckily, that was not recorded.
No. The question for Simon. I know you. Well, if we go to your website, there's a huge database of tools. And we all like tools, I think. What are the tools you've come across recently that made you spend a couple of nights?
Probably actually Sitebulb.
Okay.
It's a SEO crawler compared to like Screaming Frog, but especially on the case of site speed, they are brilliant, I think. So, for example, to really make a case with developers of optimizing your CSS or JavaScript, because one thing they do, they fully render each page, and then they also give for each page what JavaScript and CSS is actually being used. So they give you this number back from, okay, this amount is actually not used. So, and of course there's a gray area in that, because some CSS might actually get used once you do a hover, etc. But at least it gives you a clear indication towards your developers, like, hey, we really need to optimize the current JavaScript and CSS that is being loaded. And by optimizing that, you also see that in the end, your site speed gets better.
Do they also have like reports for more the CRO side or the UX side of the website?
They also do a ton of like accessibility tests, and you can do also a lot more custom stuff. It's also very, just of course a bit obvious, but just a good check to check if Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager is loaded everywhere correctly, especially if you have a website. For example, when I used it for Move, there was like 5-6 different CMS systems. Then it's good to really check if Tag Manager is loaded everywhere correctly, and they do that brilliantly as well. So a very handy tool to work with. Yeah.
Gerk, any tools that?
Yeah, I'm really fan of Jet Octopus.
Jet Octopus.
Yeah, it's a Russian crawling tool. I think it's like Screaming Frog and like Sidebulb. I have not really used Sidebulb, but I'm gonna do it. Jet Octopus is a massive crawling server that lets you crawl in no time 1 million URLs. So it's really about the big websites, and
so it uses some Russian servers to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have an NDA.
Sure.
But, yeah, sure. No, but you can combine all kinds of data. You can upload your own data. You can add Ahrefs, SEMrush, but you can also, and that's what I'm always doing now, connect the server logs. So the server logs, the access logs of the web server. Are being monitored, they're being pushed to Jet Octopus, so you can combine the normal crawling data with the behavior of the Google bot or the Bing bot or the Yandex bot. So you can check all kinds of data, and then you can combine it with Search Console reports. So if you have a page with high volume queries, but there's no interaction, and then you have all the different factors from a bot perspective and from a crawling perspective to identify possible issues.
Okay.
So I'm really fond of that tool. Yeah.
Nice. And any tools or methods that CROs use that make you jealous?
I was thinking about that. What? No, not laughing and not responding.
You guys have a great collaboration going on.
Yeah, this is just super. No, I must say I am not really that familiar with a lot of CRO tools, so
you're not jealous of CRO people. It's dead anyway,
I want to be one. So, but then I'm a rookie. I'm here as a newbie. I know.
So, but we just had Colin asking us, okay, there's so much more money going to SEA and SEO and not to CRO. So why do you want to move to CRO? There's less budget here.
Potentially a lot of money there. Yeah. No, but it's more interesting if I look at the presentations about attention and about the neurological stuff behind it, and I got really enthusiastic. And then SEO is just part of the CRO process.
CRO people are just more fun.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
I've been to a lot of conferences for SEO, and I think I like this one the best. So no for SEO, but I like this one as a conference where I've been really the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's your first time here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Simon 6, 7.
Lost count.
Yeah. Okay. Any audience questions left? Take your chance to ask those awkward questions that you don't dare to ask internally. Yeah, come on. Now is your chance.
Hi guys, I'm Heinrich from Germany, and I have a question. I saw some tools pop up like for SEO testing, where you could like in the technical structure test things like templates and how you build up your templates and things like this. Do you have experience with that, and if so, which ones? Thank you. What should
I know SEMrush now has what is it called? Forgot the name. But at least they have one, and I think that is one that is quite entry level, so to speak, for SEO testing. And yeah, then you quickly come to building something yourself. And then I would be very interested. Also, I'm trying to make time myself to build it, but also for just actually A/B testing is to do it in, for example, Cloudflare workers, because then you can do A/B testing for CRO, but also for SEO. It's basically at the same time, at basically also zero cost. So that's I think where the tools are sort of heading to in terms of. Because you see CRO testing or A/B testing tools towards server side. SEO testing is of course server side. So if you then use or if your company or if your website is already using a CDN like Cloudflare or Fastly or Akamai, etc., oftentimes they have some sort of edge or workers where you can just play with JavaScript, and that's awesome for A/B testing for SEO or CRO. In my opinion.
Yeah, we once tried to work with Distilled ODN. It now has a new name. I don't really know the new name, but it was. We thought we had
Pilot, right?
It's Search Pilot.
Yeah.
But we thought we had a client who had enough traffic, but we were in a call with Will, and he just said, "Really, this?" So we stopped it, and I fully agree that I think for SEO testing, it's maybe better to build it yourself because you can isolate more specific. So yeah, that's all the experience, non-experience that I have with it.
Build it yourself.
This was more fun.
It's more fun.
Yeah, no, but it's not really. You can do it really low key. You can isolate a set of pages within a specific category that are performing likewise to a similar set, and then you can adjust templates or stuff, and then you can roll them next to each other. The only downside of that is that SEO is always the how do you call it? If I make a change to page A, it can be of impact to the whole site. So that's the only really difficult stuff with SEO testing. Except if you do it server hijacking. So, yeah. Build it yourself. Yeah.
Does it answer the question? Yeah, perfect. Any final questions? No? Then we are gonna wrap it up. Give it up for Gerk and Simon. And then you can move to your next session if you want. The next session here will be Maaike and Robin from VVAA over a chatbot and retention campaigns. So get a drink, and we'll be back in 10 minutes.